Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today we have here Apple at $109. You find in the blog of the company my colleague stock forecast during the course of 2015. This stock was downgraded to sell 133 and thereafter to strong sell, and Apple collapsed. We call it a crash in Apple, in the markets collapsed. I've been teaching here how to invest in the markets using power shares, the Qs. And in Apple, I told you that I didn't want to buy the stock until the end of the year 2015. This was said more than 6 months ago, okay? And meanwhile, I said that, for example, companies like Microsoft or Amazon, they would be by far better, in my personal opinion, compared to Apple. So my colleague made available to subscribers to Live Markets Premium, and I'm referring to Live Markets Premium. This presentation is for Live Markets Premium. My colleague posted articles, forecast his personal opinion, what to do with regards to Apple. So ahead of the recent bonds in Apple, ahead of the company to report earnings, my colleague said, or he recommended, to close 50% of the short position, and informing you that the Apple could get to $120, above that price, $120, thereafter to maintain a short position and eventually to add to the short side. So after the company reported earnings, you remember this, the earnings, they were excellent, in fact. I bought the stock. I didn't have a short position in Apple because I closed the short position. I sold the stock. I reversed it to the short side using those same guidelines that you have in that same article from Nikolai. And today, what you are going to do, 109, you are going to take profits on the short side. It does not mean that Apple cannot continue moving lower. It means that what you paid for with regards to this, or one of the most important companies in the world, we disclosed how to invest in Apple during the entire course of 2015. So I've been saying this since February 2015, that you had been wasting your time to invest in Apple, or in other words, to follow the comments of that individual in the US, Jim Cramer, that you had to buy, to invest, and to maintain a long position. You don't trade Apple, you just, those were his comments. So if you have any questions with regards to his comments, you have to call him, you have to Google it, and I don't have any further comments with regards to that matter, okay? So close at least 50% of your short position in Apple at this price that you see here at 109. The rest is rather simple. You do the same as the stock on the right hand side. The stock on the right hand side, it was a stock, Solar City, called here crash in Solar City, and we upgraded this stock to strong buy. No matter which price you bought Solar City, you have a very large profit. This stock rallied 100% basically within a matter of 1 month, 100%, okay? So 100%, this stock was my number one pick on long side. Number one pick, you have an article if you wanted to make the profits, you had an article on the website saying stock to outperform going in 2016. It was by far better than in my perspective compared to Keurig Green Mountain Coffee or many others. So today you are going to take 50% of the profits on the short side in Apple. The rest, or you close everything, or then you use a trailing stop for your remaining position. Bear in mind that you take always profits on the short side on weakness, never on bounces, or never when Wall Street analysts they are upgrading. Bear in mind that after the company reported earnings, again, everyone upgrading Apple, none of the stock analysts following Apple downgraded the stock, okay? Only recently, a few days ago, there was one analyst downgrading, I think it was UBS, downgrading Apple or cut the price target. And they cut the price target by saying that Apple remained a buy or a strong buy. And meanwhile, shares, they plunged. $10 in Apple if you consider the split price, $10, it is a significant amount. When we downgrade this stock to 133 and it crashed all the way down to $92 or so, we are talking about a crash in Apple. You understand? The stock was not going down to 50 or to 40 or $30. We're talking about one of the largest companies in the world, okay? So you had to invest in those companies that we referred to here as companies that they crashed, like the case of SolarCity or Valiant, that today I already referred to. That Valiant today trade, you are going to see the price 118.56. I already today also uploaded and I offered you completely for free recommendations in Valiant for those subscribers to Live Markets Premium. Today it is the most popular service among small investors. And bear in mind, these investors, they have, I'm not referring to, they also have live streaming, but most of them, they are already in the Platinum. And in the Platinum, we have customers that have been here for subscribers for 3 years. Today there is a review, a testimonial online. Individual paid 3 years of Platinum in the past 60 days. It is true that he has experience, it is true that he knows the methodology, but it is also true that he has been following the guidance that you also had access to, okay? Very simple. So he had more profits in SolarCity compared to probably most of you, but no matter which price you bought SolarCity, and bear in mind that my first video on the blog of the company was made available at $40. The stock was trading at $40. So today, you have SolarCity at this price, all right? Anyway, I said, in this particular case of SolarCity, I said, and the title is said, Vieira invests in SolarCity. It's not, the title is very explicit, transparent, objective, okay? Vieira invests in SolarCity, upgrading to strong buy. This company, SolarCity, it was my number one choice in the markets on the long side. Better than everything else, even the case of Keurig that the other day, past week, zoomed 75% overnight due to news that I was not expecting. Nevertheless, I also have to confess, and I already said this in fact to a customer that he called this morning, I didn't expect SolarCity to get to $51 in 2015. This was a peak for going in 2016. But Keurig also, it was a peak for going in 2016. And Valiant, it was a peak also going in 2016. The fact that these stocks, and today I have to be very careful with what I say. The other day, you remember what happened to Voltaire Corporation. Voltaire Corporation that was trading at $3.45. I announced that I closed the short position, and within 48 hours, the stock rallied 250%. 48 hours, 250%. So I have to be very careful with what I say nowadays, since I don't know. For example, SolarCity is trading at $51. Well, no one knows yet what the company is going to say on a report on earnings and all that stuff. But I mean, I didn't buy the stock at this price, okay? Or I'm not selling short Apple at this price, okay? I did it when I had to do, following the guidance that I offered you here. If you wanted to do, fine, but you had to do it when Wall Street was upgrading, when Wall Street was raising targets, and you find 30 articles or more on the website saying, I don't want to talk about, Apple anymore on long side for the rest of 2015, all right? This is on the website, recorded live on video. The Federal Reserve wants you to buy Apple. I don't want. Thank you. If you have questions, refer to the videos that they exist online. Anyway, Apple in the end sold off. I'm very happy for it. Not because Apple selling off or the others, they have losses out there. It's not because I'm happy because of it. I'm happy because you have profits and you understood or comprehended the investment process in Apple, okay? That's the most important that you have to be aware of, okay? If the things they would have gone the other way around, that is the stock, for example, would have been rallying, friends, if you had a short position, you didn't have, bear in mind what I'm going to say, you didn't have any scenario where you were stopped out. You didn't have any scenario where you were stopped out. So there were no excuses. There are not that, there is not that argument or point saying, you were lucky because Apple plunged. No, this is not luck. We have been repeating this during the entire course of 2015. Quit Apple, go into Amazon. Amazon today is a stock trading at the moon, is trading at $666. This stock was upgraded to strong buy in January 2015 at $285. $285 when Wall Street had, downgrades. They had many issues with regards to Amazon valuations and so forth. That is completely natural. I completely understand, but we did it. We made it happen, and we made it happen also in Apple, okay? And Microsoft, by the way, that also remained, you have a video, that Microsoft, I considered, and I still like Microsoft, I consider by far better than Apple. So you have that video, that the video is 6 months old at least, all right? So you had plenty of time to invest, to buy, for example, as I did, Microsoft on weakness, and I did it recently at $43.30, okay, in Microsoft. So I followed my own guidance during the course of 2015. So it was not a question of luck with regards to Apple. So today you take profits, I repeat, 50% of your short position at this price 109. With regards to the rest, the remaining position, if you have one, you are going to use the same reasoning, the same principles, the same methodology than in SolarCity, but on the opposite side. That is to say, you are going to manage your trailing stops. In SolarCity, I already recommended today to close 50% of the long position. I think the stock gained, in fact, probably too much. Maybe tomorrow it is trading higher or maybe lower. I don't care. I made the call, okay? I made the call, and up to this price, $50 and plus, I never said to take profits, okay? This is important. Never said, I never recommend to take profits. So I only announced today to take profit in SolarCity 50%. The rest, it is up to you. I'm not managing your account. In the case of Apple, you do precisely the same. You close 50%, you can close everything, and you have a very important profit, and then it's up to you, all right? So bear in mind that before I finalize, there is an article that is from Nikolai saying with regards to stock pivots in Apple, okay? Stock pivots in Apple, where also on the downside, if you want to buy the stock, all right? But if you consider to buy the stock, buy always on weakness. Do not buy, after the stock or shares they start bouncing or rallying or whatever. You understand? Never buy after the bounce. For example, the case of SolarCity, we never bought the stock after the bounce. Never. I recommended to double or to triple the size of the long position in SolarCity at $28.30 or $28.50, because the stock was severely undervalued, or the price was severely undervalued, by far below my upside target or forecast going in 2016. That is a different matter. In the case of Apple, you have that article with the stock pivots. Okay, even if you want to buy the stock, you have that article, you have that guidance where Nikolai announced those stock pivots. That article with the stock pivots in Apple, it is the same article that we used before earnings announcement, that in fact the stock was a buy or could be a buy. It was a buy for a bounce, an important one, okay, after the crash, to $122 or so. There was no, you could see on the chart, there is a chart, there was no, when I said there was no upside left, it means that there were no buyers, okay? After the rally or after the bounce in Apple, there were no buyers. So if you had a long position, you had to immediately to place a trailing stop. This is what I did since I didn't have a short position. I told you that my colleague was short. that the team was short, but I didn't have a short position in the case of Apple. We downgraded the stock to strong sell. Strong sell, it is strong selling. There is an article. So we bet that Apple was going down, okay? Strong sell. It means down, all right? So you have Apple down. And these, all these, while the markets are or moved or near the highs. Today, when you look at the markets, they are near the highs. So why? I don't have any problems even if you didn't play the short side in Apple, okay? But you should have quit in any way, or to save your, because, let's see, the value of the service is not only the money that you, or the profit that you could have obtained, is what you saved, what we saved you in your account. Imagine that you had a very large position during the entire course of 2015 in Apple. You missed all the profits in these crashes in the Apollo Group, all this stuff, in SolarCity, in the Twitters, in the Yelps, all this stuff. And what did you do in the end in Apple? Nothing. If you have the remainder, if you have listened to the opinion of that individual, that financial terrorist, that American Jim Cramer on CNBC, you just buy Apple and you remain there. And if that was your main bet in the markets, Apple, because of price to earnings, because of fundamentals, because of Wall Street upgrades, because of whatever, because of, that fund manager activist Carl Icahn, and because of Forbes with an article to $256 price target. Where is that, my friends? Where is that? Where is it? So you would have missed all the profits. You would have missed all the profits, the crash in GoPro, everything. So they wanted you to buy Apple for what? For nothing. For them, as we know, as we informed, to dump, to sell, to invest, or to take advantage of other companies in the market. And not Apple, all right? Not Apple. If you wanted to buy Apple, to invest in Apple, to make $100 million profit, you had here the call. A couple of years ago, I said, you buy now, you cover the short position. Since we bet on the crash in Apple, we cover the short positions. It was, you remember, the split price that $400 below the 386. And now we invest when companies that today they have, it is public knowledge information, they have a very poor record, like the Credit Suisse. They had seller ratings at $400 in Apple. $400, for your information, it was $55. 55. So why today, or a couple of years later, you are going then to buy at 133? Because it could go to 150. Stock could not ever, the stock announced, the company announced, wonderful earnings, 3 quarters, 4 quarters, this company never did anything, didn't break out. So why? I told you, forget about Apple, invest in other companies. You have other companies, save your money, save your capital, utilize that capital to do it somewhere else, okay? Today, if you follow the guidance, you are happy. Because the principle, or the methodology is always the same. You invest after the crash, after profiting from the crash. And in Apple, we did it. We did the same as we did in other companies, including the case of Amazon, that today it is a stock trading at 666. It's, expensive, it's expensive, but this stock, we did the same. So this stock had to plunge, to correct, and did it to 285 before it became a buy. Today it is a Wall Street darling, all right? Apple became a Wall Street darling too. Wall Street darling, and where the shares are trading today. This December 16, before the end of the year, 109. It is not 149, it is not, $200 or 256. So where is that? I've been asking the same question here for months. So why people they neglect the methodology or the principles or what I've been saying here? The end, what matters is the net balance. It's not to be right about Apple or to be right about Amazon or to be right about SolarCity. It's about, the net balance, the balance of your account. And I've been discussing here more than 100 companies. So tell me, where did I miss? How many did I miss? 2, 3? So Do you understand? Of 100 or 200, how many did I miss? How many do you know that I missed? The calls are there, available, live, my friends. So how many did I miss? That is the question. How many did I miss? So why? And of those that I recommended as top priorities, as the case of GoPro, the best, the stocks to sell short, the stock crashed or did not crash. 10 reasons GoPro they are going to crash. It crashed or did not crash. Twitter, it crashed or didn't crash. Yelp, it crashed or didn't crash. So you didn't have to have many positions in the market to make a wonderful year 2015. Right, so this is free, my recommendation with regards to Apple, completely free for investors. I'm not happy for those out there, that they had losses in Apple, investing in Apple. That is entirely their problems. There are 20 videos or more on the website of the company, informing, urging, alerting, warning them for the consequence of buying or investing in Apple. It is entirely their problem, okay? So the recommendation given here free, you take profits 50%. At this price 109, and the rest you utilize the methodology that you are aware of, described in the basic training course. And the other reason is related, or just to finalize, the other reason related this, Apple should not be, and my friend, my colleague, he made a huge favor to disclose stock pivots, as he did, in fact, in the case of Freeport-McMoRan that you have here. There is an article with regards to Freeport-McMoRan, all the stock pivots, what we have been looking for, and so on, and so on. Wonderful opportunities that you discussed here in Chesapeake Energy. One of this company crashed, completely melted. But the reason to address this in the public, also in the live markets premium, completely for free, and even this for investors worldwide, no problem at all. Is related to the fact that going forward, this Apple is a stock discussed in platinum and hedge funds. It is not a stock that is for live markets premium. We already made you a favor by disclosing this information to help you to make these substantial profits in the markets in Apple. But going forward, my friends, the rest of the information has to be given to those that they pay for it, okay? To those that they pay for it, those that they deserve to be there, and those that they followed my personal guidance or guidance also of my colleague, okay? And we prove that our pivots during the entire course of 2015, they remained 100% accurate, okay? So we told you when to buy, when to sell, and the major direction of investment, okay? Disregarding day trading or short-term trading, and instead opting by swing trading. That is to say, letting your profits run. Letting your profits run, okay? This is precisely what we did with the case of Solar City, that today it is a stock trading at $51. This is 100% gain within less than 1 month. 100% gain, okay? So here you have the full story with regards to these companies. And going forward, well, good luck, and thank you very much to also to listen or to continue listening to my opinion. And don't forget that the review that you see today on the article on the web, that is already, it was posted I think yesterday or before yesterday, it does not contemplate even the profits obtained in Solar City. That individual that he paid 3 years of live streaming platinum, trading stocks, Amazon, Solar City, Netflix. Netflix, it is other stock in live markets premium that you have all the indications there, my friends. You have plenty of articles. That information was also shared with hedge funds, okay? Hedge funds. So today when you subscribe to live markets premium, you had access to that information. My friends, you had access to millions of dollars in profits that you could have made because the information, it was the same. The information was basically the same, and you just have to read how people they did it, okay? So it is there, written there with 100%, stock pivots, ratings, when to buy, when to sell, when if you go to, is reversing to the short side, or vice versa. All right. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, 2015, and I leave you with the quote in Apple and Solar City. Okay. So tweet those American hedge fund managers and Forbes that they were saying that Apple was worth $250. So if you believe that Apple is worth $250, today you have a compelling reason to invest in Apple, to buy the most, to sell your house, your car, and buy. That is what that individual has been saying in the US ahead of a crash that you saw happening in Lululemon. These shares, they crashed, and for example, you should have sold Apple precisely to get money, to have money, capital, to bet in the collapse of Lululemon. Lululemon collapsed, GoPro collapsed, it crashed, So you don't forget about this. All these calls, they were made here, including, recent ones in other stocks on other companies that I'm not going also here to disclose. Otherwise, it will be a party, and that's it. Merry Christmas. Thank you. Bye-bye. And by the way, and this is the reason why we are the best in the world. We make it happen and we explain it step by step